Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command. So in today's episode, we're going to be discussing how to improve your overall speed, range, and impulse speed. In terms of the fair speed, we're talking about warp speed, your range overall with the with the ship, and then your impulse speed as well. I'm going to show you the crew layout that I use to get the bonus of all three. And then I'll talk a little bit about the individuals to increase one over the other quite substantially as well. As always, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and I will leave a link in the description down below to my Discord if you wish to join it over there. There's some fancy, nice things over there. So go and head over and see what they are. So diving straight in. So we're going to jump into the Saladin for this video. We haven't looked at the Sally for a hell of a long time. But let's jump in. So this is the crew layout that we're going to be looking at. This is, in my opinion, if you want to go for overall sort of best sort of fits all type of thing. So it does a bit of everything. The reason it does a bit of everything is because to increase your impulse speed within the systems, you're going to use Claw. For his captain's maneuver, gets 25% bonus to impulse speed, so it increases it quite substantially. Then we're going to use the normal stamets, not the rare version. We're going to use the common version because he increases the warp speed of the ship by 45%, obviously subject to level and so on and so on. And then we're going to use normal Scotty or common Scotty. Because he increases the warp distance by a standard amount. So yeah, all really good things, all really useful. And this is the layout that I use on a decent ship to do like missions and to do anything that doesn't require me to basically hard hit anything substantially. But when it comes to, this is a all-round decent crew to use. So this is not the best for one thing over the other thing. This is all round just pretty decent. However, there are other things that you can do to increase, for example, your warp range. So we've got a new officer in the game recently, and you should be getting him from the Syndicate stuff. That's Grush. So if you put him into the captain's ability, you don't need him in the captain's ability for this to work. Which is why Clark is good as the captain. Because if you had Clark, for example, as the captain, but you just needed the range rather than the speed, or i.e. the warp speed to get there, then this is the crew layout that you could use. And the reason you can use this is because Grush increases your range by 8%. So when obviously combined with Scotty, you're giving you a 5% bonus, then you're going to get another 8%, and then at least in the system you're going to be able to travel around a little bit faster. So we've gone from, so we're up now to 70 warp range, but if we take him off, for example, it's a shame that we have to keep going back and forth, but we say we put obviously in fact, let's have a look at the warp, so discard that for a second. So warp speed is 12.8 with a 70 warp range, but if you're going to put obviously stamets in instead of Grush, for example, then we're going to be getting a 14.3 warp speed, which is significantly better, but we're going to be reduced obviously by 5 warp range in this case. In terms of, is Grush better than Scotty? Well, let's have a look. So we had 65, and I believe it's going to be 65 again. Yeah, we're at 65. So it really doesn't matter for the Saladin. It might matter on other ships, but for the Saladin in particular, it doesn't matter who you put on. So yeah, it depends what you want to do. If you want raw speed in terms of warp capability speed, then I suggest you go with Helvia. Helvia is going to add even more speed. Just bearing in mind Helvia's secondary ability, which is this ability that you're going to rely on. As long as the cargo of the ship is empty, Helvia increases the warp speed by 125%, which is absolutely massive, taking it from 14.2 all the way up to 18.7 for the Saladin. But bearing in mind, her ability only works providing you're not hitting and doing other things to then get cargo within the ship. As soon as you get cargo in the ship, her ability ceases to work, which is why I use Stammet over Helvia in more cases than not, because his ability works regardless to what's in the ship. It's significantly less than hers in terms of ability, in terms of the warp speed, obviously. But in my opinion, it's the best way to do it, just due to the fact that his ability works regardless to what's in the ship. So you can use him to go and do your missions and hit hostiles. Doesn't really matter. You can use him for everything. Whereas Helvia is very hit and miss, because if as soon as you get cargo, her ability just doesn't work. Which is why I tend personally not to use it as much, and I stick to someone like to just increase my range overall, or I'll stick someone in there that's maybe partners with Claw, for example. So you could stick in, I don't know, just stick Crass for there for now. It doesn't really matter too much. And then you're going to get that, at least you're going to get some synergy towards going towards. So you're going to get that 30%, obviously, to go towards that. Can we get that any higher? 3. No. So you're best off sticking to someone like this. You're going to get that 5% bonus, which is then going to increase your impulse speed even higher to 30%, allowing you to travel in system that little bit faster than before, which is obviously going to be, you know, significantly easier for you to track down players, or alternatively track down, obviously, get you through the missions faster because you can travel there at a quicker speed. This gets your impulse speed up to 150. Not the fastest in the game, but it is quite significant. It's definitely not slow. So yeah, there are a couple of layouts that you can use. If you're going to go for, what's the other layout? In terms of impulse speed, you can't really increase it that much beyond using Claw, to be honest. I'm sure people out there probably screaming at me saying, yeah, you can use so-and-so, you can use so-and-so. But yeah, it's a personal choice. I personally use not this crew layout. I personally go with this one, just for a bit of everything, or alternatively Grush. It really doesn't matter when it comes to them two. They're interchangeable. You can go with Grush if you want a little bit of extra strength, I guess, because he does provide it, as he is an epic officer. So he does provide that extra bit of oomph as such. So this is the crew layout, or the Scotty one that I personally use to just travel around the galaxy, or yeah, pretty much the galaxy, the known galaxy, trying to do missions, trying to do different things. If you have any other layouts or crews, please leave them down in the comments down below. Like I say, this is just what I use, what you can use as well if you have access to these officers, since these are very easy officers to get access to. So please let me know your comments down below of what crew layouts you use, what they're for. Is it for warp speed, impulse speed, or range overall? I'd be very interested to know what your thoughts are. So yeah, leave them in the comments down below. Hit the video with a like if this has been useful to you. And as always, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.